Schmidt here. I'm really excited right now because I've got David from Resurrected Media here. David's been super active in the group, and I know you guys have been seeing his posts and his replies. So I'm really excited to bring him out into a live video so you can know that he's a real person and I'm a real person, and we can kind of share with you some tips. And so, David, could you please just give the group kind of a high-level overview of kind of who you are, what your business is about, and kind of what you've been up to?
Well, Mike, thank you for the opportunity. It definitely is great to connect with you and be able to share a little bit of what I've learned so far using this business model that you helped us bring over. Like you said, from Resurrected Marketing, we're definitely trying something new. We just moved to Orlando 6 months ago. We were local in South Florida, and we basically do web design, graphic design. So digital company. So everything that's design wise, that's digital, that's what we are specializing in.
Very cool. So you've been at this for a little while now. Can you share kind of what you've done with the program since joining, what clients you brought on, and kind of what your experience has been so far?
Well, basically, I've been on since the beginning of January. I saw your webinar in December. I actually caught the replay a couple of times, took some notes from that. It really helped me out get the vision of what the software can do. As soon as I signed up for my first seat, went over to the next day to my kids' preschool. Mm-hmm. And I showed them that there was an opportunity that they were missing out of. I made a quick PowerPoint presentation, actually taking screenshots from your webinar. Cool. And that helped me out a lot. And so I just went in there and came out with a check. Then it was basically, oh my God, I have somebody that's already trusting me. Mm-hmm. What can I do with this? So I got into your training. Your training was excellent. It really goes down with a lot of the steps that really I had questions about. Remember, I only knew what the webinar had shown, so I hadn't gotten into the system. But definitely what I saw was opportunities. And what I've done so far is, since it was a preschool, I basically took their list. We sent out the review invites. We got about 5 within the first week. Then more started coming in. We got a total of 9 for the first month. But I started thinking, well, once everybody leaves a review, what do I do with this? How can I get the client to say, wow, this is a very important piece to our puzzle? Mm-hmm. So what I did was I'm using the system basically as their contact with their parents. So I would use the emails now to send their newsletters, to send their, so I repurposed the drip campaigns to something bigger.
Interesting. Hadn't heard that before. So you're actually sending out other content through this system to not only solicit the review, but also share more information about what's going on with the preschool.
Exactly. And now it's gotten to the point that we're adding on for their second month, we're adding the text function. Mm-hmm. In order to become a integral piece. One of the things that I gave this specific client ideas on is, well, maybe we want to target reviews for the first month, but right. The second month we want them to know what's going on in their business, keep up to date. But we always have the widget connected. We always have the footer that says, please leave a review. So last Friday, we sent out a newsletter for the month of February, and we got somebody to leave a review.
Very cool.
So we try to repurpose so they see that this is something that it has become so important that they cannot do without.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, the preschool, right? This is a place that we're trusting to take care of our most prized possession, our kids, right? And having young kids myself, like it's a big deal, and a lot of times we rely on like recommendations from friends and people that we know. But really, when it comes down to it, it doesn't matter what our friends say. They might have had a great experience, but if there's something on those review sites that gives us any cause for concern or any pause, like that's a big deal. So, yeah, I'm a big proponent of saying like every business and every organization needs to be paying attention to this, which I know everybody watching this would obviously really agree with too, but like especially for preschool. So what I love about that too is that you went to some place that you were already connected with, some place you already had some sort of relationship, and it was a kind of an easy end. That's awesome.
I think that the best way to like jump in is with established clients or established people that you have a relationship with. It lets you test the waters, and it lets you also perfect your pitch. Mm-hmm. But once I got this preschool, we have another client that is a preschool down in Miami.
Yeah.
So what we did was we said, look, this is what we're doing with another client here in Orlando. You could do as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it was basically a copy and paste.
Right.
And now they jumped in. I believed, and with some of the other clients that I'm going to share with, is like once you get your foot in the door in a specific market, it makes it easier to say, look, this is a case study. This is an example. And I would actually send them a real life link, say, look, this is how the system runs. Mm-hmm. And they looked at it and they're like, wow, we don't even have a database.
Yeah.
We don't even have, a way of contacting our parents other than email. This is something that we could definitely use.
Right. Yeah, because you're helping them to build some structure into their business. A lot of businesses, they may have QuickBooks that keeps their customer data file, or there may be like sporadic places where they have customer info. But like by you helping them with the reviews, you're helping them build a database of something that's more valuable than the reviews by themselves. Helping get in charge of something that's escaped them up until you help them with it. Right.
I try to go into. Many of these are either warm leads or cold leads. And I try to go into every single presentation thinking on the side of the client or the potential client. Mm-hmm. Like, what are the questions that might come up? Who is this person? What can I, how do I get you the information? I'll tell you that the Facebook group has definitely been like a gold mine. Your training for the Review Pro is excellent, but there's so much value exchanging ideas and seeing what other people have done that definitely it was worth the investment just for the Facebook group alone.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I love this Facebook group because, yes, I was the guy that recorded the training. We've done so much of this stuff, but like I get the same thing. I get a ton of good ideas and new approaches, and that's one of the things that keeps me interested and excited in being here too. So, that I totally agree with you. So do you see yourself growing specifically in the preschool market now that you've got 2 under your belt, or do you have other clients that you're bringing on?
Not at all. I think this is applicable to almost every business that I approach. Everyone wants to maintain a healthy reputation. I believe that the best like the cherry on the top when I do my presentations is when I tell them that, look, there is a wall, there's a filter, there's a guard to protect you from negative reviews. And 90% of the time, you can either stop or flip those reviews. And that's basically what takes it over the top. Right. I have a nail salon down in Miami, and this was from a friend of a friend. I don't even know this person. They just recommended it. I did a Loom presentation because every time that we would try to get over the phone or try to do something, it wouldn't go through. So I basically recorded a Loom presentation using my voice because I wasn't comfortable being on camera. And I'll be honest, I did it like 3 times, practicing, just trying to get it right. But I definitely got their attention 3 weeks later. Like they texted me at midnight and they say, hey, look, I just watched your video. This is something that I definitely need. Can we program a call tomorrow at 3? And so I closed them on Friday and just registering them this week.
That's great. Congratulations on that. Yeah, it's like it's really sometimes comes down to the follow-up that you're doing and making it easy for people to get the information, plus like remember that you're important. Like, sending out that first email, we were just talking about this. Sending out the first email is sometimes like not enough. Sometimes it's enough they get excited, but like, we all get those emails where we're interested, but we're not interested enough to respond to them right in that second. So
yeah, definitely. I followed up with them by text, by phone, by email, once a week. And it definitely came through. They saw it, and it moved them so much that they text me at midnight. So luckily, I was just winding down. I'm like, sure thing. I'll touch base with you tomorrow, and we made it happen. But I wanted to share with you a little bit of what I do to flip those clients into more prospects. Wow. And I think that this is something that everybody would in the group would use it, and it would definitely add value. Every time that I land a client, I definitely tell them, look, I want to record a video of your testimony of what we are doing, of our services, and the results that you're getting. I learned that from AnchorWave, and definitely it opened my eyes to a possibility and an opportunity that I wasn't taking advantage of.
I mean, testimonials are unbelievably awesome at helping other people gain the confidence they need to actually buy. It's huge. So very cool. So what are you doing then?
So what I do is I tell them, look, first of all, look, I'm partnering with you. I'm giving you 110%, but I need you to help me. Please record a video, send it over. They send it over. And then I ask them, please, I want you to refer 5 of your closest partners that could really see value in this. Many people have trusted third-party vendors that they subcontract, or they're connected to the Chamber of Commerce or any other organization. And basically what I do is I grab those 5 people. I say, look, if you do this, I'm going to give you something that in return, I'm going to give you either a checklist, but what I sent out to them, it adds value, but it's intangible. So it doesn't cost me money.
Right.
So they send over their recommendations, their contact list. And basically so far what I've done is 1 week I'm out making sales. And then the following week, I'm registering and setting people up. Mm-hmm. And those recommendations that those 5 people, let's say last week, I got 3 customers. So at the end of this week, I'm doing 15 presentations. So I'm preparing 15 Loom videos. I'm preparing myself to contact these people and do research on their companies.
That's awesome. So you're asking for the recommendation and those referrals at the time you're onboarding them, before you actually got them any reviews potentially.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly.
That's awesome. I love that, because some people think that they have to wait until like they've actually blown it out of the water and got them a bunch of reviews to ask for that help. But you think about it, you just presented them a solution. They're excited about it. They see that in that moment, they see the value. Otherwise, they wouldn't be buying from you. Mm-hmm. It's a great time to say, if you see the value in this right now, like, would you connect me with 5 people who also might see the value in this? We're not asking you to vouch for the success, just asking you to vouch for the value that you're seeing, right?
Exactly.
I love that. So if I get this right, you're onboarding 1 week, and during that onboarding, you're asking for those referrals, and that's filling your pipeline for the following week.
Exactly.
Which is giving you the week after that is giving you another onboarding week. So this thing's really just going to expand for you each week. You're going to have more and more prospects because you're bringing on more and more clients each week.
And to give you an example, the client from last Friday, the one that texted at midnight, we went into this thinking it was just something for reviews. We ended up getting a web design project. We also ended up getting some other graphic design projects from that. So definitely it got our foot in the door, but it also escalated to so much more. So we're selling 1 week, and then we're executing the following week.
That's awesome. So what are you doing anything specific to spark the conversation once you have your foot in the door? Are you asking for the other business that they're doing, or is it just kind of coming up that they're
I tell them basically that there was let's say on the video I present that there's a problem, And then I tell them, look, listen, I see that you've had a couple of reviews in the past. What happened?
Mm-hmm.
And to give you an example, in this beauty the salon, we couldn't keep up, or we decided to go with Google Ads, or we decided to go with Groupon codes and stuff. And when you start learning about the business and start learning how much Google charges, or Yellow Pages charges, or Yelp for their things, and you tell them, look, if you would pay each individual thing at once, you would pay so much more than what you're going to pay bundled up.
Right.
And you would see the metrics, you could see results, you would see a monthly report. So it makes sense as far as a business owner to say, wow, I could kill 5 birds with one stone.
Totally.
Using this system. And then I just tell them, well, what are you doing as far as a database to connect to people? Oh, well, we have clients that go in, we have clients go out, but we never really, did anything. Well, do you know that you could send them a coupon code that you could follow up on Valentine's Day and let them know that there's a special going on? And from that, from what I learned in the preschool, using it as a way of communication, then they see it like, oh, wow, I could use this for so much more.
Yeah.
And so it really opens their eyes. And then I tell them, well, what are you doing online? I saw that your website is old and obsolete. So it just opens up conversations to more opportunities where they look at you as a resource.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's what I like about what you're doing is that you're not just saying, hey, we do email marketing. You're actually giving them ideas around how they would use that in their business. And that goes from someone saying, I don't need email marketing, to, I would like to get coupons in the hands of my clients. Like, same service, same thing, but it's you're showing them the end result and giving them the idea. So that way, hey, here you are to provide that solution, which is.
I believe that if you're adding value, if you go and you say, hey, look, I saw a problem in your system. I have a solution. My solution is definitely much cheaper than what you would pay individually for what you're doing right now. And I think that you will get better results from this. And not only that, you have somebody that's going to partner with you, because if you succeed, I succeed. And they see the human element to it as well. And I'll tell you, most of these clients are more than 300 miles away. So I'm not knocking on people's doors. This is all electronically. These conversations sometimes happen through FaceTime or through a Zoom presentation. So it's just knowing what the system could do, catching the vision of it, and just try to take it to the next level.
That's cool. And if you guys didn't catch that right there, he's not in the same city. David's not in the same city as a lot of the people that he's selling this service to. And that's a question that we've gotten a lot from people is, do I have to be in the same place do I have to meet them face to face? Like, it just so happens us here in Tucson, Arizona, we do a lot of face to face. That's the way we've grown our business a lot. We've now also done a lot of virtual things as well, but sometimes it's hard for people who've done a lot of face to face transition to understand that this really can be done, especially through the technology we have. You just mentioned FaceTime and Zoom meetings and text messaging. These things, you're helping people buy the way they want to buy and communicate they want to communicate, which is awesome.
And when they see that reviews are definitely something that they use on a day-to-day, I ask them, hey, I'm pretty sure that you've bought from Amazon or bought on eBay. When you're comparing apples to apples, what makes you choose on who to go with? Sometimes it's the price. Most of the times is the confidence from somebody else that has left a review. I'm like, I'm just extending something that you're used to already, so you can start applying it to your business.
Awesome. Yeah, I want to bring a question up here from Barb. She wants to know what you're saying in the follow-up, whether it's via text or phone. After you made that initial contact, what does that follow-up process look like for you?
Basically, what I tell them is, hey, I hope you're doing great. I wanted to know if you had the opportunity to check out the video I sent over, or I wanted to see if there was something that I could answer if you had any questions. Basically, it's the persistence. Most of these business owners, as you and me both, our time is limited. And sometimes our time is only available after normal business hours. So I tell them, look, for your convenience, I sent you a video. I know that your time is limited. Please take a look at it. And if you have any questions, I'll feel free to, schedule a call or follow-up meeting so I can show you firsthand how the system works and how you can use it to benefit.
So what I'm hearing you say is it doesn't matter so much what you're saying, but the fact that you're being persistent is really key. So you're staying in front of them and you're making it easy for them to get back to you. And one of the ways you're making it easy is by using video, being available off hours. You've talked about text messages a couple times. And like, this is an area I think many people overlook is like, when you text someone, you're cutting past the inbox, you're cutting past the voicemails, you're
going direct. Yeah.
Yeah, and plus you said that one came in at midnight, right? Like that person texts you at midnight, they're not going to call you at midnight, like because for fear of like, what if I actually wake this person up, right? But text is socially okay to send, right, at virtually any time, and it's concise and short. So all they need to say back to you in text is, "I'm interested." Like they can get more elaborate, but they don't. There's the requirement on them putting a lot of thought into responding to you to engage in the service, really very low. So. I love the idea of using text, and it's something I think a lot of people need to use a lot more in the combination of ways they follow up. The one that I'd add to that list too is even Facebook Messenger or any of the other messenger platforms where you can get in front of a business, because let's face it, email is going to be full with a lot of other stuff. And so you've got to be persistent and effective there. And these other platforms are not yet as saturated with marketing that allows us to kind of cut through that.
Yeah, I definitely see that the follow-up is very important. It's key. One thing that once we're starting to get our feet wet and used to the system and selling the system, we try to do a lot of scripts and we try to do a lot of practice. And like, I would say just cut straight to the point. Even in that presentation, the following day, that call, when I was trying to close in and answer any questions and features, that person was limited. That person was being pulled left and right. So I just went to the specific features that would apply to them. And basically they had no more questions after that.
That's awesome. Well, cool. As we bring it to a wrap today, David, what's the number one piece of advice you give to somebody who's working this program, who's wanting to get more and better results?
I would say that it works. It's something that people need. The things are changing. If you would have gotten back in the day, if you would have had the opportunity in the early 2000s where everybody was trying to get a website because they needed a website. Nowadays, everybody has a website. If you were trying to get into 2012, 13, when social media started going up, now everybody's connected either on Facebook, Instagram. They have a social media presence. I think that now is the time where this is still in an infancy, where we could just basically jump in and we could start dominating the market. Don't be afraid of distance. Don't be afraid of what you're going to say. You start tweaking and perfecting with every presentation that you make. So don't believe in yourself. Believe me, there are people that are doing this that it's working for. I almost gave up on certain aspects, but this gave me a Red Bull shot in the arm and to our business, and I've seen it grow. So feel free to reach out to me, and I'll definitely share some of my things. I'll be adding more stuff to the group as well. Mike, thank you so much for the opportunity.
Hey, David, congratulations to you. Congrats on taking action. I'm really impressed and proud of the success that you've seen so far, and just looking forward to supporting you through that as we go along. So cheers to you.
Thank you for being there. Thank you for being there.
All right. Thanks, David.
Bye-bye.